New Balance, a household name synonymous with quality, comfort, and classic style, has carved a unique edge in the world of sneakers. In 1938, they introduced themselves into the running shoe game and they haven't looked back since. The Supercomp Trainer is one of the many models in the New Balance arsenal, but this one is special. After its release in late 2022, it made waves in the industry. A training shoe with a carbon plate and 47mm in the heel. With this, the first New Balance Super Trainer was born. Now we fast forward to the end of 2024 and we have the third iteration of the Supercomp Trainer with an entirely new look, stack height, and performance. In today's full review, I'm going to be talking everything Supercomp Trainer version 3. So how does it feel, the usability, the durability, and of course my comparisons to the version 2.
Yeah, hey, look, whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah. Whoa, look, hey, I've been talking the truth in the zone. Yeah. I was calling them too, but they gone. I have nothing to do with no phonies. I'm only gonna give them the real on the song.
So would I recommend the Supercomp Trainer V3? If you're looking for a long run workhorse that can tackle tempo and marathon efforts, then this is the shoe for you. If you enjoy a wider toe box and a nice wide platform to land on, then this is definitely the shoe for you. If you're a 3:30 to a 5-hour marathon runner, then this shoe could be the secret sauce to your next marathon PB. As a disclaimer guys, New Balance were nice enough to send me this shoe for the purpose of review, but they won't have any influence on what I have to say in this video, nor will they see any of the content or approve any of the content or anything like that before it's posted here for you guys to watch on YouTube. And I will also add that whatever I say in this review is of course my own opinion based off my own experience. What works really well for me might not work really well for you. It's super important that you actually go down to your local running store, support a local business, and try the shoes on for yourself, build your own opinion, and happy days. I've now run a total of 100 kilometers in these shoes, and to be honest, I wasn't completely sold at the start, but now I'm really getting to know the shoe and I think I'm starting to love them. But firstly, let's talk about why I wanted these shoes. So the main reason I wanted these shoes is because I loved the version 2. The second main reason, or the other reason, is my Mizuno Neo Vistas are coming up to 1,000 kilometers. I think they're at 980. So I'm well overdue a replacement for a Sunday long run shoe, and this was at the top of my list. So have they successfully slid into my rotation? The answer is yes. So how does the shoe feel? So I started off wearing these on my warm-up runs. So they were usually about 5 kilometers in duration, and I also chucked them on for a 60-minute easy run. So the reason I did that was because I just wanted to test them out to make sure I didn't get any blisters or any hot spots before I threw them in the deep end and wore them on my 30K long run on last Sunday. When I picked these out, I saw that the shoe came in a wide, and I always make the mistake of not choosing the wide when I don't look at the option there and I just forget about it and I never end up choosing the wide. So unfortunately, I do suffer from forefoot pain from a lot of shoes being a little bit too narrow. So I didn't really think about it and I ordered the wide without thinking that this shoe is almost a carbon copy geometry, or I guess like upper and width wise, to the Elite V4, which is already quite roomy in the toe box and actually is perfect. It is one of the sort of more roomy super shoes that you can get on the market, I think. So I should have known better, and I should have known that these were probably already going to be wide enough, but I ordered the wide and I'm not stoked that I got the wide. They might just be a little bit too wide for me, and unfortunately when I'm running, I can feel my toes jamming in at the front. I mean, it is good having some room to spray the toes out, spray the toes out, spread the toes out. But yeah, a little bit too much room, and I find that my foot is slipping in and jamming at the front of the shoe. I did, as you guys can see here, I did a runner's knot to hopefully mitigate that, and it did help a fair bit. The only thing is the laces were quite short from doing the runner's knot, so I couldn't do a double knot. I mean, they didn't come undone over the whole 30K run, So I don't think they're gonna come undone, but yeah, it was just I think the laces are just a little bit too short for a runner's knot. But I say all of this to say that if you do prefer a little bit of a wider shoe, I think, and unless you really need a wide shoe, I think you're going to be okay with just getting the regular true to size fit for this one and not getting the wide. So my initial thoughts from my first run was that this is very different to the V2. And what I've noticed with the Super Comp lineup is they've really made drastic changes to the lineup with each new iteration. Like the first version was very soft with a max stack height. And then the next version, they seem to have made the foam a little bit firmer and a little bit more stable. And they brought the stack height down to 40 mil. And then this version, they've kept the same foam. They've kept the same stack height, but they've changed it again, really quite a lot. The V2, the rocker was really quite aggressive, I thought, but this one, as you can see, it's quite flat, and the rocker is not super aggressive at all, to be honest. So I think this one, comparing to the version 2, I think this feels a little bit less responsive and just a little bit firmer. But after a few runs, I think the foam started to soften up a bit, or my foot started to mold to the shoe, or some magic happened after running a couple of hours in it. And I did start to enjoy it a little bit more. Look, it still doesn't blow me away with energy return or pop, but it's become a pretty reliable and solid shoe to wear on my 60-minute plus runs. It's not the most comfortable shoe out there, but it's comfortable enough to get the job done. Another thing I'll add is that you can really feel that carbon plate underfoot, and I'm honestly not fully decided yet on whether I think that's a good thing or not. It is a pretty soft foam underfoot, but I think you feel the plate a little bit too much, making the shoe feel firmer overall. So what's the usability of this shoe? Is it versatile? I think yes, it is quite versatile, but this shoe I think is gonna specialize in the longer stuff with a bit of effort thrown in. You can pick up the pace and get rolling in them. I wouldn't say anything close to 5K pace or 10K pace, or maybe even that half marathon pace. It might feel a little bit clunky, but for an example, you can definitely pick up the pace in these. I did my midweek long run just yesterday, and for the last 8K, I had a bit of a pickup, and I ran the last 8K around 4:10 to 4:15 pace, and they really felt pretty good. So I can see this working for people wanting to add some marathon pace efforts into their long runs, or even some tempo kilometers thrown into an easy run, possibly. But if you're wearing these for the super slow plods, it can kind of give the feeling that it is a little bit clunky, a bit bulky. That was kind of the feeling that I was getting. I personally wouldn't use these for a session, but I'm a bit of a super shoe snob. I like to wear my super shoes for all of my speed sessions. That's just the kind of guy I am. But if you wanted to get one shoe to kind of like do it all, I think you could get away with it. But I think, it might be a bit tough to get going at those 5K, 10K paces. Might be a bit hard, bit fast for this shoe. So what's the durability like? The version 2, the durability was notoriously bad. On the midsole, it got really hard here. The foam kind of deteriorated, and I could feel the plate literally smacking the ground. And it was a damn shame because I really loved the V2. It was one of my favorite shoes of, was it last year? No, it was the year before. I think it was the year before. That was one of my favorite shoes, so I was really hoping that they would upgrade the durability, and it looks like they have. This is 100 Ks in the bank, and everything is holding up quite nicely. Doesn't look like there's any deterioration in the foam. So yeah, it's all looking good so far, I think. And I think you could probably comfortably get at least 400, 500, maybe even 600 Ks out of these. I wouldn't be surprised if people are getting even more. But it also can depend on your foot strike, like where you land. If you're a really if you're heel striking and you're landing on the medial side, the inside, a lot, you're going to chew the rubber out there, and it's probably not going to last you as long as somebody who is 50 kilos and just glides along the path, if you know what I mean. Usually I would do my comparisons and it would be the previous iteration, but this shoe is completely different from the version 2. Like, this is almost a completely new shoe. Comparing this to the V2, I think maybe the upper is slightly less comfortable. It's less soft. It would be more durable. The foam looks more durable to me. Well, definitely is more durable. It shows after 100 Ks. And I think maybe the aesthetic of the version 3 is an improvement. I really do like this colorway, and I kind of like the way that they've matched this to the Rebel, and they've also matched this to the Elites, and they've kind of just really kept that one aesthetic for the whole lineup, which I kind of think is cool. But looking at the Supercomp Elite V5, it looks like they've done a bit of a remodel, and it's looking good. It's looking good. Overall, I think what New Balance have tried to achieve with the V3 is an all-round, more versatile shoe. Coming in at 330 Australian dollars, this shoe can handle a lot of your runs. So if you're looking for a shoe that can do your easy, your speed, and your long runs, and you don't want to buy multiple shoes, then this shoe could be the shoe for you. So, did you cop a pair of the Trainer V3s? Do you like them? Are they better than the V2s? Let me know in the comments, guys. But that is going to conclude my full review of the Oh, I forgot to mention that there's a nice little note here. Fueled for your long run. Very fitting. But if you did enjoy this video, guys, if you enjoyed this review, if it helped you in any way, make sure you give it a like. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and sharing it with your running friends. It really helps me out. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.